Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk all things major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much, much more. I'm your host, Chris, and we're going to talk DC today. So buckle yourself in, because over the last few weeks, we've just gotten kind of bad announcement after bad announcement after bad announcement. And this is pretty typical for DC. If you've been following their entire storyline, the DCEU, and all of the other projects that they've been popping up, it's just not been great. However, there are a few good things as well, a little bit of a light at the end of the long DCEU tunnel, and we're going to be discussing that as well. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any other major movie and television news happening here daily on the channel. You can also follow me on my other socials, Instagram at Chris M. Rosser and Twitter at TheCultureChris. Links to both of those are in the description down below. Now, with all of that being said, the big headline is DC Fandome will not be held this year. Now, there are a few separate reasons why this could be the case. Warner Brothers Discovery seems to be a little bit low on moolah, on money. They have to have had pushed back a lot of their projects to a different year because they don't have marketing funds. They aren't able to pay for trailers, posters, billboards, all of that good stuff that gets the information to the general public, not the obsessive YouTuber subscriber base, everybody who's obsessed with everything. Just to the normal people, because that also makes up a good chunk of money of people who go and watch movies. So Black Adam will be coming out this year, but Aquaman was pushed to next year, Shazam was already pushed to next year, and they will only be dropping 2 movies for the remainder of this year. So we're lucky we're even getting any DC films, and that's Warner Brothers across the board, or Warner Brothers Discovery now. With that being said, I would go ahead and assume that that is the main reason why they went ahead and nixed the DC Fandome event. It is my understanding that they were relatively successful the last 2 years. They happened in 2020 and 2021. Although the one in 2020 was a lot better than the 2021, where they really didn't have any major announcements. They had a lot of random ads, they had some boring panels, and they made us sit through the entire thing before we got to the announcements that we really wanted to hear. I do recall doing a live stream and just overall feeling disrespected as a fan, and also frustrated and angry. It was actually one of the, I guess you guys were all having a blast watching me rage out, but it was a very frustrating experience for me as a fan, not even just as a YouTuber, but as a fan of DC who wants to see them succeed so much. And that was a huge implication that they're not headed in the right direction still. However, they are naming new names. They're making new plans and potentially even planning a new reboot for DC. Now, insiders are rumoring that Black Adam is going to be the beginning of the new era, the new saga. And to be fair, in the marketing, we've been hearing a lot of that, as The Rock is going on, and Black Adam, I suppose the character, is going on about how the hierarchy in the DC universe is about to change forever. Now, they did double down on Shazam being a part of the DCEU in one of the recent trailers for it, where we saw Shazam feeling like he was inadequate because there was Batman and Superman and all of these other characters, and he's just kind of a kid. Which I was disappointed with, because I felt like Shazam was still far enough out of the DCEU without enough concrete evidence to kind of separate it, to put it in a new universe with Black Adam. But now that Shazam is officially part of the DCEU based off of that trailer and probably other footage that will be in Shazam 2, it makes me wonder, where does Black Adam exist? Because the assumption is Black Adam and Shazam exist in the same universe, as his chair was teased, and this is the whole build-up, and we're definitely going to get to Black Adam and Shazam, who will end up having that anti-hero role put into full fruition. With that being said, insiders are saying that Black Adam is the start of the new era. It's also being said that they have found a Kevin Feige of sorts to run DC. Now, this has been a topic of huge discussion for years now, that DC needs to separate itself from Warner Brothers a little bit, is what they say. Get themselves a captain, a leader, a president, like what we've seen with Marvel Studios, a section of Disney, with its own president who runs everything. Now, this is not official nor confirmed, but it is heavily rumored and believed to be true that Dan Lin, who you might recognize from movies like It, the Lego Movie, Aladdin over on the Disney side of things as well, will be taking on this role as Lord of DC Studios. Yes, that's right. DC has also, under Warner Bros. Discovery become its own studio. So it's not, Warner Brothers in charge and the CEO changing all the things and making it whatever he wants anymore. Hopefully, DC Studios, much like how we see Marvel Studios, is its own sector, has its own relevance, and with Dan Lin potentially taking over the role of, we keep calling it the Feige role, but president or chief of DC Studios, we will hopefully be able to have a little bit more of planning and foresight and connection, that different directors will be given a leader and somebody to guide them on their path as they're creating the new era, the new hierarchy of DC films. Now, we have to talk about The Flash, which and I know is all over the place thanks to all of the awesome actions of one Ezra Miller, who is the actor for The Flash. Now, it seems like Warner Bros. Discovery, or DC Studios even now, has had a whole Ezra Miller public remediation act where he has gone out and apologized. He has been on this tour where he has been on a very short leash, and several different statements have been made by him and the studio where he has prayed for forgiveness and seemingly is reformed and wishes to be forgiven of his sins. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a bunch of baloney. The guy is the guy. He will make more mistakes, and I'm not one to not believe in second chances, but the issue we're having is that the Flash movie is apparently awesome. That's what we're hearing. That's what they're saying. Now, they have compared DC projects to The Dark Knight before. We've actually heard the exact headline, "Oh my gosh, Suicide Squad has tested better than any movie since The Dark Knight," or any movie that has had high hopes. They seemingly always want to compare it to The Dark Knight. So this isn't the first time we've heard it, but we are hearing it again about the Flash film, and supposedly this is the best testing they have ever had for a DC movie. So we're hoping to get a really awesome Flash film whose original purpose was to open up the DC multiverse and invite new characters or new universes and new opportunities into the DC universe, leaving the DCEU. So DC has been for a while trying to figure out how to transition out of it, and the Flash was the big ticket. With his quantum powers being discovered and utilized, he was going to open up all these portals to different universes, introducing new Batmans, different superheroes, Supermans, Superwomans, and many other characters along the way. It does sound like 100% they will not be scrapping the Flash film, which at this point, okay, cool. And it does sound like they're trying to set the flagship for sure transition into a new DC studio event, a new DC universe with Black Adam and with the Flash movie. So hopefully they can get their ducks in a row. There are words of a 10-year plan, of starting over, of a fresh reboot, of bringing open a new universe. I'm curious how they plan on doing it, and I'm always quick to get excited about DC projects. I'm always quick to say, no, they're going to figure it out this time. Honestly, up until this point, I haven't been impressed, and I haven't been satisfied with the direction of DC. But this is different, I suppose. There's DC Studios now, there's Warner Bros. Discovery, new management, new plans, and hopefully an awesome DC story, because I am always rooting to get just the complete cinematic universe for DC. And under the new plans of DC Universe, DC Studios, and potentially a new chief of DC projects, we will be able to accomplish that goal. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, thank you to everybody who watched till the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell. And I'll be sure to catch all of you guys in the next one, right here on Cosmic Culture.